Hi ladies, just checking back in on this International Women's Day, so just give me a second to fix things up and make sure you can see me. I hope you can hear me all okay. I can certainly see that we're a bit clearer right now compared to earlier, so hopefully that's looking good your end as well. So it's been a lovely International Women's Day so far. I was speaking in part one of this Facebook Live today about how in Italy Women's Day is celebrated quite hugely. And so since I spoke to you on the first video, I actually was taken out to lunch by Francesco, and at the restaurant, everyone in the restaurant engaged me with Happy Women's Day, Happy Women's Day, Happy International Women's Day. There was absolutely no sort of squeamishness about it, and there was no sort of issue with celebrating women. I even got a lovely glass of wine and a free dessert. So there's no shortage of celebrating Women's Day here in Italy, and my experience is that the people here really honor the day, and they celebrate with beautiful yellow flowers and a beautiful cake called mimosa, which is made with cream and pineapple, and it's just gorgeous. So whatever you're doing for Women's Day, I hope it's going well. I hope you're enjoying it. It's great to see Emma here. It's great to see Prawinder. If you do come on live, feel free to ask your question, post your comments, post your love hearts, post whatever you're agreeing with. I love to really interact with you on these Facebook Lives. So thanks for that. So it's been an interesting day. You know, I started today talking about this celebration of women, this honoring of women, and it's not so much this honoring of women versus dishonoring of men. I mean, that's not the energy we're in. It's this honoring of our divine feminine. It's this honoring of our true nature is my preference for the language around this. And when we honor our true nature, miracles happen. Of course, it's a little difficult to honor your true nature and to honor that divine part of yourself when you're constantly getting caught in what I call insecurities, thought storms, mental hurricanes. And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit more about in this particular video, because as I've brought you behind the scenes on my rebrand, you will know that I've been working very diligently on writing my new story. Believe it or not, it's not new to me. I mean, that's the story that I have shared with you all through my blog, which is here in the group or over on citygirlconfidence.com. And through my sharings, basically. It's not a new story. It's my journey that has occurred in the last 2.5 years, I would say. But now was the time to capture it and bring it into form in a way that was going to speak clearly and speak loudly. Because with the rebrand, if any of you know, if you're setting out to write your own copy, start your own website, get your blog going, you have got to kind of get into the trenches with what it is you want to say. And, you know, frankly, I can get a bit embarrassed here because this is my speciality. This is what I love helping my clients with. I love helping them get really clear on what they're up to in the world, on what they're trying to communicate, what they're trying to say, what that message is. So for me, when I kind of was getting into a funk about my message and my new story, I was somewhat surprised because, you know, after all, we have this expectation on ourselves that, well, we're doing this for other people, we're helping other people, so we should be able to do it for ourselves. That's not usually the case. When we're so close to our situation, it's very hard to see it clearly. And I don't know about you, but for me, I just get into that storm of, you know, oh my God, what are they going to think? What if I don't say it correctly? What if they misinterpret what I'm trying to say? And mostly just I kind of then can go, oh, you know what, I give up. I'm not going to bother. That is why I made some very radical decisions recently. These were not taken lightly, but I literally woke up to realize that if I was going to really get to the next level and have this rebrand also be successful at the same time, I was going to need help. So I did two major things. The first one was I brought on someone in the area of personal relations and media to support me. And I got in the trenches gently with that person, and I started sort of asking her not to let me get away with anything, because I know for myself, if I'm just left to my own devices, I can sit on this rebrand, I can sit on this writing for months. It could take me a year or more to do this, and I don't have that sort of time. You know, there are other things I would like to get done. And so how this relates to you, you know, I know I'm speaking about myself here, but I hope this is going to relate to you if you're currently procrastinating on something, or if you're currently beating yourself up because you've got ideas and you want to get something going, but you just don't seem to be moving in that direction. This will all make sense as we go along here. So the second radical decision, hi Pawinder, great to see you, Lillian as well, and Anastasia, lovely to see you here. And the second decision that I came to was it was time for me to put myself in an incubator for next level. It was just time for me to do that. I had really been enjoying all of my organic growth. I'm very happy to report. And this isn't something that I'm very loud about. You'll notice that I don't scream about massive results. I don't scream about how much money I'm making, but I am going to tell you this. I'm very happy to report that without all the usual techniques that are advised to create more growth in your business, I've managed to double my profits. In the last 12 months, I've doubled my profits by simply this one thing. And this one thing is what I'm sharing strongly today. This one thing is what I want you to hear closely today. And so this growth has been beautifully done, easily done, naturally done. And now I've come to a point where I recognize that if I'm going to go to another level, I can double my profits on my own, fabulous. But if I'm going to go to another level, it's time to put myself in an incubator. So I made a radical decision about 72 hours ago to put myself in with a particular coach that is helping me grow with the rebrand to that next level. Now, here's why I'm sharing that with you. Sometimes you can get the idea that she's got it all sorted. She doesn't need any help, or she doesn't do that type of thing. It's not true. It's like all of us, every human being, myself included, is at the mercy of staying stuck in our insecure thinking. And so when we do that, we generally stay at the same level. So for me, I recognized, you know, if I want this rebrand to move forward, if I want to be sure that I actually do what I say I'm going to do, if I actually want to bring all of the ideas that I have together and use them to their full advantage, it's time for me to know what I don't yet know. And this is what struck me most. It's like, we all know what we know, okay? But what about all the things that we don't know, that are possible, that are available, that are out there? And that for me has been a curious question in recent months. You know, how far can you get with what you know versus how much further can you get with what you actually start to awaken to? So it feels radical to me for two reasons, ladies. it's a scary time. It's like a time where I put my hand up and say, I've transitioned into my newness, if you like, and now I'm putting my other hand up and saying, and I'm going to take this newness and grow it into what it deserves to be. So that is kind of just behind the scenes. That's what's happening. And I'll bring you more around that very soon. I'm sure I'll be sharing more. But now that the story is in place, now that the message and the direction is clear, what I'm working towards in the coming weeks, really, as we lead up to this rebrand launch, I'm working on the offers, and I'm working on the business model, and I'm working diligently, I would say, every day in not letting the insecurities take over. You know, I'm sort of having to do for myself at a deeper level what I'm supporting my clients with each day. So, you know, there's something about just remembering that it does start with your story, and that's what doubled my profits this year. I've no doubt about it. The one thing that I did more than any other year in my business was I shared more of myself. And particularly, I shared more of my personal story. And if I look back, you know, even just a year ago, I had started a mini Mean Your Message program for 6 weeks. And I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that what I was doing there was valuable and interesting and enjoyable. And at the end of that program, I said to the ladies, if anyone would like to continue, I think I'm going to open this up as a 6-month container as a group. And lo and behold, simple as that, the group doors opened, and we have been, you know, enjoying and experiencing and delving in more as a 6-month group container in that very organic way. Had I not bothered even sharing my journey back January last year, had I not bothered getting you up to date with where I was, had I not bothered following the ideas that were coming to me, there's no way I could have doubled profits. There's no way I could now today be sitting with a full container of packages, group, private, and what's coming next. There's just no way. And so for those of you that are sort of like just wondering, well, how is she doing it? Or what do I do? What can I do? No, I really encourage you to get up close and personal with your story and to give it to us. Give it to us real and raw. I don't mean air your dirty laundry. I mean really give us and share with us what you have been experiencing. Because it's through that sharing that we get to connect with you. And it's through that connection that any traction comes. You know, I talk about this as the invisible marketing. Thank you for your hearts. I hope this is touching your hearts. Hi Nilgun, hi Alison, great to have you. Hi Catherine. You know, it's through this sharing and this connection that we get a chance to feel you and to connect and recognize for us what it is you can help us with. And so often, as I see with my own clients, they get bogged down in getting the right website, getting the right words, getting the right marketing plan, you know, getting the exact value that they're offering. And those things are helpful, but they're not where the juice is. You know, there's a lot of noise out there about getting that form right. And the place that I see more and more that grows a business is actually the formless. It's that invisible marketing, that spiritual marketing. And what that really is, you know, how are we able to connect with you? Are we able to get a good and a nice feeling from you. And that can't be duped. That can't be manufactured. You know, you either are living in a space of confidence and well-being and clarity on how you can help someone, or you're not. The only other place people are living, as I see it, is in insecurity, in fear, in worrying about how they are coming across. And that was my initial journey too. For myself, I actually did quite well. I was so worried about, you know, how I measured up, how I compared to my peers, whether or not I was going to do things correctly, how I looked on camera. I wouldn't even come on the camera. I hid behind the security of my perfect website and blog. And so, you know, connection was a little tricky. Connection was hard. And it wasn't until I had that profound insight that you probably heard me talk about in my blog and down below here in the group, but it wasn't until I had that profound insight that actually I was operating and living in much more insecure thought than I had realized, that my world started to change and turn around. And as a result of that turning around, as a result of not taking myself so seriously anymore, I started showing up more. I started getting online more. I started engaging my business more. Before that, it was very on and off. So there's really something about, you know, getting beyond any of that insecurity to just share. And that's what I'm seeing again. You know, the more I've been sharing my story with you, the more I've been receiving emails from you and feedback from you and connection with you. And my way of doing it, I'm not saying is the right way, but it's a graceful way, it's an easy way, it's a way that I know you can start with today. And I just hope that this inspires you and encourages you to really just step beyond what you think you should be doing and into sharing with us exactly what you've got. As I said in an earlier video, I love to see people's stories, read people's stories. I'm fascinated by people's journeys. And I know I'm not the only one. My Netflix is all documentaries of people's journeys and stories and where they've been and what they've done and how they've overcome. I know I'm not the only one interested in that. So if you want to have an impact and you want to reach more people, it starts with sharing more of yourself. It starts with sharing that story too. So I hope this has been inspiring. I hope this has been helpful on International Women's Day. And I encourage you to drop your comment below. Let me know what you're hearing. What's your big takeaway? What are you interested in? And if I can help you in an area of your business, be it getting more engaged with your game or actually filtering through the insecurity to get to the story and the message and the business model, get in touch, grace@citygirlconfidence.com. I am taking calls this week where I can speak to you on your specific situation and we can explore if coaching is an option. In the meantime, lovely to have you here, ladies. Have a really great rest of your day and I'll speak to you soon.